Welcome to a journey to discover the most beautiful hidden villages in Southeast Asia, where time seems to stand still. Life is in harmony with nature and ancient culture. From the green terraced fields in Vietnam to the stilt village in the jungle of the Philippines, each place is a vivid picture of a timeless lifestyle. Get ready to embark on a journey to discover timeless lands, where beauty lies not in the flashiness, but in the authenticity and tranquility. Hidden in the midst of the Ifugao Mountains, Banaue Rice Terraces emerges as a living masterpiece carved by the hands and beliefs of the indigenous ancestors. For more than 2,000 years, each terrace has been handcrafted, embracing the mountainside with patient care. When the sunlight shines down on the green fields, the entire hill seems to glow, as if the earth and sky are silently breathing because of this pure and eternal beauty. What makes Banaue not just a beautiful landscape but also a sacred symbol is the profound harmony between man and nature. The smart irrigation system brings rainwater from the top of the forest to the terraced fields, without the need for modern technology, just an understanding of Mother Earth. Although today facing changes in lifestyle and migration pressure, Banaue still stands as a gentle reminder that the most sustainable things are sometimes built with simplicity, patience, and love. From the legendary steppes of Banaue, the quiet journey south will take us to another place that bears the mark of time: Hoi An, the ancient city on the Thu Bon River in central Vietnam. If Banaue is the whisper of the mountains and forests, then Hoi An is the ancient love song resounding from the heart of the small town, where each moss-covered tiled roof contains centuries of memories. Walking on the cobblestone streets, among the golden wooden houses nestled beside the quiet river, we feel as if time has stopped. Hoi An is not noisy, not hurried, but gently invites us to immerse ourselves in the slow pace of life, where the lanterns still sparkle every full moon night, where traditional festivals such as Tet Nguyen Dan or the Flower Lantern Festival light up both memories and the present. Here, nature, culture, and human souls seem to melt into each other. Not separate, not ostentatious, only gently preserving the pristine yet profound beauty. Leaving the quiet of Hoi An, We follow the winding roads to the north, where the mountains open up a pristine green area, Luong Nature Reserve. Like a vivid picture woven from terraced fields, misty valleys, and the chirping of forest birds, Luong is a place where nature and people still maintain a rustic, strong connection. Here, every morning is a symphony of early morning dew, the sound of babbling streams and the crowing of roosters from the Thai and Muang villages. Luong is not only beautiful in its landscape, but also in the harmonious and genuine spirit of its residents. People living in the middle of the great forest, still preserving festivals, traditional costumes, and love for their motherland, as a matter of course. During the harvest season, the golden rice fields stretching along the mountainside make people's hearts calm down. It is not only the season of rice, but also the season of belief that the connection with nature is always the root of peace. Going against the flow of emotions from the peaceful valleys of Luong, we stretch ourselves up to the soaring clouds to reach a majestic symbol of Southeast Asia, Mount Kinabalu in Malaysia. It is no coincidence that this peak of more than 4,000 meters is revered by the indigenous people as the roof of the gods. Standing in front of Kinabalu, people suddenly become small when white clouds wrap around the steep cliffs and the primeval forest below echoes with the sounds of strange birds and the breath of ancient life. Unlike the gentleness of terraced rice fields or riverside fishing villages, Kinabalu brings a feeling of overwhelming, a land where life explodes from the roots to the mountaintops, with more than 6,000 species of plants and hundreds of rare animals, many of which only exist here. And when the dawn dyes the sky pink on the mountaintop, in the cold and the strong wind, we realize there is a beauty that does not need explanation, just to be quietly admired. While Kinabalu stands tall in the sky and clouds like an epic of the mainland, Kampong Ayer, the legendary floating village on the Brunei River, tells a different story, gentler, but no less magical. Here, the water is not just a flow, but a roof, a path, the beginning and end of daily life. Although built entirely on wooden stilts, this village is not fragile. On the contrary, It has endured for centuries as a testament to man's ingenious adaptation to nature. The rustic houses, the simple wooden bridge across the water, the shimmering afternoon sunlight, all create a strangely peaceful scene. The people here do not just live with the river, but live with the river, so that every boat, every child's call, becomes a part of their memory. In an increasingly hurried world, Kampong Ayer reminds us that there are places where simplicity and peace are priceless treasures. In contrast to the peaceful life on the water of Kampong Ayer, Cao Bang appears like a majestic epic in the middle of the vast northern Vietnam. This is not only a place where mountains and forests wind along towering limestone ranges, but also a land imbued with historical vestiges and heroic stories of the nation. Setting foot on Ban Giok waterfall, where the water flows down white between the Vietnam-China border, we seem to hear the echoes of heaven and earth. But Cao Bang is not only about waterfalls, but also about misty villages, where the Tay, Nung, and Dao people still weave, sing, then, and live in the middle of nature as if they had never had a concept of time. And when standing in front of Pak Bo Cave, where President Ho Chi Minh once lived and worked, our hearts suddenly calm down with sacredness and gratitude. Cao Bang is not a place to visit in a hurry. It is a land to stop, listen, and feel with all your heart. Have you ever longed to get lost in the villages hidden in the mountain mist, or drift on the roofs floating in the middle of a quiet river? If the journeys full of local culture and majestic lands make your heart flutter, subscribe to the channel today to explore the beautiful hidden corners of Southeast Asia with us. Instead of following the rocky streams and waterfalls of Cao Bang, this journey takes us back to the west, to Chiang Mai, the ancient pearl of northern Thailand, where time seems to slow down to preserve the beauty of the past. Known as the Northern Rose, Chiang Mai is not only charming with its mossy temples hidden under the canopy of ancient trees, but also with the gentle and meditative pace of life of a land that was once an ancient capital. Amidst the small streets filled with lanterns and the scent of incense wafting in the wind, visitors are easily drawn into a world where spirituality and nature are in complete harmony. The lush green mountains surround the valley, where there are craft villages, rice fields, and the Loy Krathong festival shimmering with candlelight in the middle of the night. Chiang Mai is not ostentatious, but profound enough to touch the heart, like a gentle whisper, inviting us to stay longer, to understand more. From the ancient temples and peaceful valleys of Chiang Mai, we head to the north of Vietnam, where Ha Giang opens up a completely different world, wild, majestic, and overwhelming. This land at the head of the fatherland is like a stone painting drawn by time, with sharp cat ear mountains reaching high into the sky and winding mountain passes clinging to the mountainside, challenging even the bravest souls. Not only is it overwhelmingly beautiful, Ha Giang also touches the hearts of travelers with the rustic and profound beauty of the ethnic minority communities here. From the innocent smiles of Hmong children in their colorful dresses, to the bustling highland markets in the early morning mist, all are pieces of a life that is both harsh and heartbreakingly beautiful. And every autumn, when buckwheat flowers bloom on the rocky mountainsides, Ha Giang seems to light up, not noisy, but full of pride. Crossing the rocky roads of Ha Giang, we leave the high mountains to drift along the water to the south, where Tonle Sap, the largest freshwater lake in Southeast Asia, opens up a completely different world, a world floating in the middle of the vast river, where fishing villages live on the lake's surface, as if drifting in time. In Tonle Sap, houses are not on land but on wooden rafts. Boats are the main means of transportation, and life is closely tied to each water level. When the water level rises, the village seems to bloom, bustling with the rhythm of life, with the sound of oars, the laughter of children, and floating markets held right on the waves. But also in the dry season, the water recedes, leaving behind silence and patience, a symbol of extraordinary endurance and adaptation. Tonle Sap is not just a place. It is a living testament to the absolute harmony between humans and nature, where each gentle wave also carries the stories of many generations of river residents. Leaving the vast waters of Tonle Sap, we follow the wind up to the northwest of Vietnam, where Yen Bai is covered in the green of the mountains and terraced fields undulating like waves of rice on the hillsides. If Giang brings a feeling of wild awe, Yen Bai soothes people's hearts with its gentle, mellow beauty that is no less majestic. In Mukang Chai, one of the brightest gems of this land, each ripe rice season is a season of convergence of light, color, and emotion. The golden rice terraces follow each other like endless musical notes resounding between the earth and sky. Not only beautiful, Yen Bai is also home to many ethnic groups such as the Thai and Hmong people, with traditional stilt houses and a lifestyle deeply attached to nature. In the afternoons filled with smoke from the kitchen and the sound of the flute calling for a mate echoing from the mountainside, Yen Bai gives us a strangely peaceful feeling, as if we have returned to a place in our mind. From the golden rice fields of Yen Bai, we turn slightly to the west, to Thailand, where Nan lies shyly in the mountains and forests of the north, like a wild flower nestled in silence. Not noisy, not bustling, Nan attracts travelers with a rustic and pure beauty, as if time here has stopped to preserve the purest things. Nan is a place where every morning the mist still gently covers the rice fields, the peaceful rivers, and the ancient pagodas bearing the imprint of Thai and Indian culture. In that space, our footsteps seem to become lighter, and our hearts are naturally at peace. The dark brown wooden temples, the ringing of temple bells in the late afternoon, and the sunset falling on the hillsides all create a Nan that is not flashy, but makes people reluctant to leave. Nan is a place for souls who need a moment of silence, to slow down, to listen to themselves, and to fully feel the beauty of stillness. Beyond the ancient tranquility of Nan, we set foot on an enchanting water world. Inle Lake, a hidden gem in the Shan Highlands of Myanmar. Unlike any other place, Inle is a place where the lake becomes the foundation for a floating society, floating villages, floating gardens, and even markets that glide gently on the waves. But what really touches the heart of visitors in Inle is the image of men rowing on one leg, standing gracefully as if dancing on a smooth mirror. It is not only the art of balance, but also a testament to the extraordinary adaptability and cultural pride of the Intha people. Every dawn, Inle Lake is covered with a thin layer of mist, reflecting the gentle light and soft movements of daily life. Inle is not a place to explore in a hurry, but a place to stop, breathe deeply and listen, like a poem written with water, with wind, and with faith in a life in harmony with nature. Continuing the quiet memories on Inle Lake, we return to the shaped strip of land, where Sabah appears in the mist of the northwest, like a dream between the mountains and the sky. Located at an altitude of nearly 1,600 meters above sea level, Sabah is not only a famous tourist destination, but also a harmony between majestic nature and profound indigenous culture. Every morning, light white clouds drift over the terraced fields like layers of silk across the sky. When the afternoon falls, the last sunlight of the day shines through the simple wooden roofs, where the Hmong and Dao people still live as their ancestors did, plowing the fields, embroidering clothes, playing the flute, and telling stories with ancient music. Sabah is not flashy, but always makes people moved by the sincerity and hospitality of the people here. Amidst the murmuring streams and the howling wind through the mountain passes, Sabah is like a place to return to, a place where anyone who has ever set foot here carries a piece of the mountain soul in their heart. Completely different from the quiet and gentle beauty of Sabah, where clouds embrace the mountains and the wind tells stories of the forest, the floating markets in Thailand bring a completely different rhythm, vibrant, brilliant, and colorful. On the canals that intertwine like the blood vessels of the delta, small boats are filled with fresh fruits, local dishes, flowers, and the crisp laughter of buyers and sellers, all creating a vivid picture reflecting a unique cultural life. What makes the floating market not only a place for trading but also a cultural symbol is the way the Thai people preserve the intimacy and tradition in the midst of modern life. In the early morning sunlight reflecting on the water, the boats are anchored close together. The aroma of mango sticky rice, coconut water, and hot soup spreads throughout the space, making travelers feel excited. The floating market is a place where the river not only carries water, but also carries generations of memories, where culture is not in books, but flows with each small boat in the bustling life. From the obscure legends on Chiloé Island, we go deep inland, where old forests and rocky mountains embrace a majestic but little-known valley, Cochamo Valley, known as the Yosemite of Chile. Nestled in the Andes, Cochamo is a place where time seems to stand still, allowing nature to retain its pristine and pure beauty. The soaring granite cliffs of over 1,000 meters stand like giant walls, winding between white clouds and rustling forests. At the foot of the valley, a clear river flows through moss-covered rocks, winding through ancient forests, where alerce trees have lived for more than 3,000 years as silent witnesses of time. There are no paved roads leading into the heart of the valley, only ancient trails that indigenous people and gauchos, Chilean cowboys, have been riding through since the last century. In the morning mist, when the sun shines on the cliffs and condor birds spread their wings silently above, Cochamo makes the traveler's soul blend with the deep breath of Mother Earth. This is a place for those who seek tranquility, challenge, and the most original beauty of nature. From the dark forests and towering cliffs of Cochamo, we follow the trails south to a river full of life, the Baker River, Chile's largest river by volume. Like a strip of emerald green silk stretching across the wild Patagonia, the Baker has an incomparable splendor and intensity. Its water originates from the melting ice of the giant glaciers of the Andes, winding through narrow valleys, steep cliffs, and humid forests, creating waterfalls that foam white like a silent epic of nature. When standing before that endless blue, the blue created by stone flour from eroding ice, you will understand why this river overwhelms so many visitors. The sound of water hitting the rocks echoes like the restless heartbeat of the wild land. On the riverbanks, ancient cypress trees stretch out, and somewhere, the silhouette of a condor spreads its wings against the deep blue sky. Adventurers come here to kayak through the rapids, while quiet souls just sit on the banks, listening to the pure sounds of the earth and sky. Baker is not just a river, It is the soul flowing through the veins of southern Chile. And then, when the journey reaches the deepest part of Patagonia, a majestic symbol of Chile appears before the eyes. Torres del Paine National Park, the crown jewel at the end of the world. Three towering granite towers, Las Torres, rise nearly 2,800 meters into the sky, like giant spears carved by the hands of wind, ice, and time. Every early morning, when the first rays of sunlight dye the cliffs red, the scene makes all words redundant. Just silently admire. Torres del Paine is not just a mountain, but also a miniature universe of glaciers, valleys, glacial lakes, and endless grasslands. Gray Lake, with its icy blue waters, where the Gray Glacier flows in and breaks into silent, drifting icebergs, evokes a sense of both grandeur and fragility. This is also the kingdom of wild animals. Guanacos quietly graze, puma hides in the bushes, and condor birds spread their wings in the cold air. Torres del Paine is where nature reveals all its power, fierce, beautiful, and indomitable, leaving anyone who sets foot here with a sweet cut in their memory. Leaving the majesty of Torres del Paine, the journey continues south to a peaceful, poetic, but extremely unique place, Caleta Tortel, a village without streets. Instead, this place is completely connected by cypress-cut paths along the banks of the Baker River, stretching for more than 8 kilometers like a winding maze between the forest and the sea. Walking along these paths is a different experience, as the creaking of wood underfoot blends with the sound of waves lapping at the shore and the whispering of the wind through the dense foliage. Caleta Tortel is nestled between fjords, dense forests, and silently melting glaciers. The small, colorful houses stand precariously on wooden stilts, reflecting on the still water, creating a shimmering, almost surreal picture. There is no rush here, just a slow pace of life, small boats docking with fresh fish, and the gentle people living in harmony with nature. Caleta Tortel is not noisy, not flashy, but leaves a deep impression with the beautiful simplicity and charm of a world untouched by modern hands. Have you ever imagined a country where volcanoes, ice, wine, and seductive dances coexist in a fragile strip of land? That is Chile, a strip of land more than 4,300 kilometers long, nestled between the majestic Andes and the vast ocean. With more than 2,000 volcanoes, of which about 500 are still active, Chile is like a hot heart of the earth-breathing lava. Along the endless coastline is the wild beauty of the ocean, where the clear sky makes this country a paradise for astronomers with the most modern telescopes in the world. Not only does Chile have spectacular nature, It also captivates visitors with its cueca dance, simulating the courtship of roosters and hens, and its passionate and characteristic Carmenere wine. Chile even reaches out to Antarctica, affirming the bravery of a country associated with strange, fierce, but charming things. And when we follow the Chilean strip of land out into the middle of the Pacific Ocean, more than 3,700 kilometers away from the mainland, a mysterious island appears that is Rapa Nui, also known as Easter Island. This place is not just a small dot in the vast ocean, but a cultural and archaeological treasure of humanity. The giant Moai statues, carved from volcanic rock between the 13th and 15th centuries, still stand silently looking out to sea, like ancient spirits guarding the memories of a lost civilization. The nearly 900 stone statues scattered across the island, some as tall as 10 meters and weighing more than 80 tons, are a testament to the indigenous people's engineering and deep spiritual beliefs. Archaeologists are still divided on how the Rapa Nui ancestors moved these giant stone statues, adding to the mystery. Within the Ranokau crater is a freshwater lake and floating reed islands, evoking an otherworldly feel. Easter Island is the perfect starting point for a journey into the unimaginable wonders of Chile. Continuing our journey through the wild lands of Patagonia, we set foot in Hornopiren, a small but charming town known as the snow furnace of southern Chile. Located at the northern gateway of the legendary Carretera Austral route, Hornopiren is not noisy and bustling, but captivates visitors with its pristine beauty and peacefulness like a painting. Surrounded by dense, temperate rainforest, quiet glaciers, and the towering Hornopiren volcano with its year-round snow peak, this place is a wonderful intersection of mountains, water, and clouds. Hornopiren is also the gateway to Hornopiren National Park, a natural treasure with ancient Alurs forests thousands of years old, clear streams, and trails leading deep into the land few people have set foot. It is also famous for its natural hot springs hidden in the jungles, such as Cahuelmo and Llancahue, where you can relax in the midst of pristine nature. For those who crave quiet, wild, and unspoiled beauty, Hornopiren is the starting point for an inspiring adventure. Leaving the serenity and simple lifestyle of Hornopiren, we continue our journey along the Carretera Austral to reach one of the most majestic natural treasures of southern Chile, Volcan Culat, the icy heart hidden in the temperate rainforest of Culat National Park. Although the name Volcan evokes images of boiling and fierce, this place is distinguished by the quiet and eternal beauty of its ice, especially the Ventisquero Colgante hanging glacier, a wonder that will make the traveler's heart stop. From afar, You will see a giant block of ice floating in the sky, melting into white streams of water pouring straight down into the deep valley below. The scene, the contrast between ice, waterfalls, dense forests, and mist, gives the feeling of being lost in a world untouched by humans. Volcan Kula is not simply a destination. It is a place where nature whispers with a quiet beauty that makes people's hearts flutter forever. From the emerald waters of southern Patagonia, the journey takes us north to a world of contrasts. The Atacama Desert, the driest place on Earth outside the polar regions. Here, time seems to stand still, and the cracked earth under the scorching sun tells the story of thousands of years without rain. But it is this harshness that creates a surreal beauty that is breathtaking. The red hillsides, the endless white salt flats, and the distant volcanic ranges that blend into the horizon give the impression of walking on the surface of Mars. In the midst of this landscape, the Valley of the Moon appears like a symphony of rock and wind, canyons, caverns, and sand dunes sculpted by time. At sunset, the entire desert is ablaze in orange, purple, and yellow like a surreal painting burning in the last light of day. Atacama is not only a place of life's challenges, but also a reminder that beauty can flourish even in the harshest of conditions. In the heart of the dry Atacama Desert, where only dust and silence seem to reign, the Valley of the Moon, Valle de la Luna, appears like a magical dream in the middle of the real world. Its name is not accidental, because the scenery here really makes people feel as if they are setting foot on an alien planet. The rocky slopes are eroded by wind and time, forming surreal shapes, undulating like the back of a petrified dragon. Under the scorching sunlight during the day, everything is still, but when the sun sets, the whole valley lights up in a range of fiery red, dark purple, and burning yellow, a rare symphony of light. In that absolute silence, we feel strangely small, as if standing on the boundary between life and nothingness. Valle de la Luna is not only a geological wonder, but also a profound experience of solitude, eternity, and beauty beyond the boundaries of the earth we know. Leaving behind the dense forests and cold glaciers of southern Chile, the journey takes us to a tropical paradise in the heart of the arid desert, Bahia Inglesa, the shining pearl of the Atacama region. Here, the emerald green sea embraces the smooth white sand, creating a mesmerizing contrast between ocean and desert. Despite being located in the middle of the driest land in the world, Bahia Inglesa gives the feeling of being lost in a peaceful oasis, where time seems to slow down so that visitors can enjoy every relaxing moment. Famous beaches such as La Piscina, Las Machas, or Playa Blanca are not only attractive for their pristine beauty, but also for their clear, calm waters, ideal for those who want to immerse themselves in nature or participate in activities such as windsurfing and kayaking. In spring, the phenomenon of desert bloom turns the arid land into a carpet of colorful flowers, making Bahia Inglesa even more magical. Not only does Bahia Inglesa have beautiful nature, it is also a place where unique culture and cuisine converge. With the perfect combination of natural landscapes and unique culture, Bahia Inglesa deserves to be a destination not to be missed in your journey to explore Chile. After soaking up the turquoise waters and white sands of Bahia Inglesa, we continue down to central Chile to meet a strange and colorful city, Valparaiso, affectionately known as the Pearl of the Pacific. This is not just a seaport, but a living picture painted from art, history, and precarious slopes. The city stretches across 45 hills, where every step and every alley tells its own story, woven with vibrant paint and soulful graffiti. What makes Valparaiso special is the way everyday life and street art blend into one. The creaking old trams, the small cafes nestled between winding staircases, and the yellow lights that creep through the sea mist every evening. The colorful metal structures built from recycled ship materials, along with artistic neighborhoods like Cerro Alegre and Cerro Concepcion, make this a must-see destination for those who love beauty and originality. Valparaiso is like no other city. It is a visual and emotional symphony, full of nostalgia, rebellion, and freedom. Away from the colorful slopes and free-spirited art of Valparaiso, the journey leads us to a world where fire and ice meet, Pucón, the adventure capital of southern Chile. Nestled at the foot of the smoldering Villarrica volcano, Pucón is a place where nature is constantly in motion, where every morning reveals a different scene. Mist swirling around snow-capped peaks, crystal-clear lakes sparkling in the dawn light, and ancient forests rustling in the wind. Leaving the mysterious stone statues in the middle of the sea, we return to the mainland, heading south to Patagonia, where a brilliant blue gem is quietly shining among the majestic mountains. Lake General Carrera. This is the largest lake in Chile, stretching across the border with Argentina, where it is called Buenos Aires. But what makes this place a true wonder is the system of marble caves hidden under the crystal-clear water. The marble caves that sparkle like a dream sculpted by light. For more than 6,000 years, the waves have skillfully carved soft, swirling stone arches, dyed by bands of blue, white, and gray like a surreal painting. When the sunlight shines down and reflects on the lake's surface, the whole space seems to melt in the gentle turquoise color. The feeling of rowing through these natural stone corridors is like drifting in a magical fairy tale world. Surrounding the lake are the snow-capped Andes Mountains, where the glaciers silently melt, creating a strange blue watercolor. This is a place where nature not only creates beauty, but also arouses absolute admiration. Hidden in the heart of General Carrera Lake is one of the most enchanting natural masterpieces on the planet, the Marble Cave System, also known as the Marble Caves. These caves are not simply rocks and water, but are the magical result of more than 6 millennia of waves eroding the pure limestone, creating soft curves like the dance of the wind. Inside the cave, the light reflects through the turquoise water, making the stone arches magical, as if we were standing in the middle of a crystal palace at the bottom of the ocean. Each season of the year, the colors inside the cave change, sometimes deep blue like the eye of a storm, sometimes clear like flowing glass. The feeling of gliding gently on a small boat through those stone corridors is not only a visual experience, but also a journey into the artistic heart of nature. And then, as we step out of the surreal rocky slopes of Valle de la Luna, we reach an endless expanse of white. Salar de Atacama, Chile's largest salt flat. This is a place where the earth and sky seem to melt together in a dazzling layer of salt mist, where the rough ground shimmers silver under the scorching sun. But amidst this seemingly barren landscape, life still miraculously permeates. The salt marshes reflect the blue sky like perfect natural mirrors, and are home to graceful flamingos, quietly foraging among the pale pink waters. The contrast between the salt, the sky, and those pink wings makes the space surreal, breathtakingly beautiful. At night, the sky here opens up to the universe, where the stars shine brightly, casting a wordless mystery on the salt flats. Salar de Atacama is a testament to the resilience of life, where the harsh and the fragile coexist, so beautiful that we can only be silent to feel it. Leaving the arid and mystical land of the Atacama Desert, the journey continues to take us south, where the wind and rain and the sea paint a completely different picture. Chiloé Island, a deep blue gem in the cold waters of southern Chile. Hidden behind the mist and sudden rains, Chiloé possesses a fairy tale beauty mixed with mystery, where legend and reality are inseparably intertwined. The colorful wooden houses called palafitos stand precariously on the water, as if dancing to the rhythm of the tide. On the island, ancient wooden churches, the legacy of Jesuit missionaries, tell the history of a cultural exchange between Europe and the indigenous. But Chiloé is not only about architecture and history, but also about myths, where people believe in creatures like Kalushe, the ghost ship in the Sea of Fog, or Trauco, the mysterious forest elf. In the dense temperate rainforest, the rare Darwin fox still lurks quietly. All of this makes Chiloé a separate world, wild, gentle, and enchanting, like the fairy tales that have not been fully told.